I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power.
I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there's nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want.
I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me.
Every day I'm wasting my time thinking that someone else is gonna do it all for me. I've got to get up, get out, get it, just get started. Take one step towards my destiny. I'll define my direction with clear-cut intention. Declare what will be and then watch it come to me. 'Cause I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there's nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want.
I've got the power inside of me. I've got the power inside of me.
There are days when I feel that I'm just no good. Days when I don't even wanna try. But when I stop, look and listen and surrender, I hear a voice of truth I cannot deny. And it says, you know you can do it. Just get down to it. Have faith in yourself and the will to see it through. 'Cause I've got the power to make all my dreams come true. I've got the power, there ain't nothing I can't do. I've got the power to be anything I want.
I've got the power inside of me.
Yeah, I've got the power inside of me. In those times when I feel so frightened and it seems like I just can't go on, I've got to look deep inside, 'cause that's where I find the power, the power, the power inside of me. Yeah, I've got the power deep inside of me. Yeah.
I've got the power.
I've got it
I've got the power inside.
deep inside of me. I've got it.
I've got the power inside.
Oh, there's nothing I can't do, 'cause I got the power, yeah. I've got the power, you got the power, we got the power, yeah.
I got the power. You got the power. We got the power.
I've got the power, you got the power, we got the power, yeah.
I got the power. You got the power. We got the power.
Every single day you just got to say, I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. Power! Talking about power, yeah. I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. Every single day you just got to say, I got the power, you got the power, we got the power. Power!
Yeah. All right. The message is we've got the power. So we have 12 spiritual powers within us. And tonight in this annual 12 power service, we're here to focus on activating these powers. So good evening, everybody. I'm Reverend Kathy. Welcome to Unity North Spiritual Center in Coon Rapids, Minnesota. It's great seeing you here. Is there anybody here for the very first time? Would you raise your hand and wave to us? Hi, Eric. You wanna unmute Eric and tell us who you are, where you're from?
Yeah, my name is Eric. I'm from Blaine. I heard about Unity North Spiritual Center, and I just kind of want to check it out. That's it.
Great. Welcome. Glad you're with us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody else, I think we know. So welcome to everybody. That opening song was sung by popular Unity artist Karen Drucker, and you'll hear her again for our closing song. Also, there'll be some recorded music played by our former chant ministry. So when the service is over tonight, feel free to stay on just for a time of sharing or any kind of Q&A about the powers. And Rhonda Italiano, our licensed Unity teacher here at Unity North, is partnering with me and facilitating the service tonight. And her husband, Chris Italiano, is providing IT support. So thank you both for being here. Rhonda will give an introduction and explanation of the 12 powers to begin.
Thank you, Reverend Kathy. So I was just reviewing my copy of The 12 Powers by Charles Fillmore tonight. And in the introduction to this textbook, Charles Fillmore talks about the fact that the 12 powers are not meant to be something that you have that be your first book or your first idea that you're introduced to when you are first learning about Unity. This is sort of part 2. You start off with something like Lessons in Truth. So in order to really understand the 12 powers, that's more about going deeply into the material. And you have to be able to imagine what it's like for things to take place under the surface. So beneath the conscious mind, there are all of these things bubbling and happening in the invisible realm. And in order to really make use of the 12 powers, we need to be able to use our imagination and then really think about what each of those ideas are. Charles Fillmore also compares our 12 powers to different employees in a company. And we, as the human in charge, we have to be the CEO, and we have to be able to send those powers out to do different jobs, just as we would send our accountant or our administrative assistant off to go do something depending upon what the task is. So we are going to in just a few minutes here, we are going to draw a power. So it's not time to do that quite yet, but you should have received a handout in your holiday packet. So with your bag, with the candle and the things that we used for Christmas Eve, there were 12 powers that you should have received. So this is the time when you want to make sure you cut those apart and put them in a bowl or a container, so that when we're ready, that you're ready to just kind of pluck one of those out of a bag or a bowl. If you did not receive the holiday packet, you can just write the 12 powers down and draw one out for yourself. So feel free to send me a note in the chat, and I'm happy to let you know what those are. So this is your opportunity. This is your heads up to cut those apart if you haven't done that yet, but it's not time to draw quite yet. So we are going to have a meditation, and then we will draw our 12 powers, or one of our 12 powers. So I'm going to turn this back over to Reverend Kathy for meditation.
Okay, so I just invite you to sit back and close your eyes and just begin to relax. Feel that relaxation move from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. As you tell yourself, I'm completely and totally relaxed. And allow me to say the words for you, taking them in as your own. It is not I, but the Christ within who does the work. I am now in the presence of pure being, immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I now release negativity, fear, false beliefs. I let go of limitation. I know the healing power of the Christ within dissolves any cares or concerns. I know together we are part of a magnificent universe with trillions of galaxies. So many stars we cannot even begin to imagine, so many suns and solar systems, and our Earth is but a small speck. But it does not mean we are not important, for each one of us is at the center of the universe, a center of creation. And each one of us has magnificent divine powers within. For countless centuries, the ancients have taught there are 12 spiritual powers. These old archetypal friends have been with us through epochs, eons of Earth life. And so we're inviting them to be with us as we go forth and journey together. This night, we call forth the 12. We invite them into our own beings in this collective community. Just as Jesus called forth his 12, those disciples who were there to help, support, teach, love, we call forth our powers. The order they are in matters not, but today we use the order that Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, wrote about them. We call forth faith, strength, and judgment. We call forth love and power. We call forth imagination, understanding, and will. We call forth order and zeal. We call forth renunciation and life. We call these powers forth that they may instruct us and support us and love us and awaken us to our divine potential. We need not know their names by heart. We need only know that we are 12-sided, that we are one being with so many facets of beauty. So for a moment, let us reflect in the silence on the amazing being that we are. In this place of silence and divine connection, we know our oneness. We know we're part of a great universal heart. And we give thanks for these powers within us. We are open, receptive, and responsive to them. And we say, thank you, God. And so it is. Amen.
Feel like I need a bit of a drum roll here. You'll have to imagine a drum roll. So it is time to draw your power. My bag right here. So this is your chance to see what power you have that you are going to work with for the year. So go ahead and get that handy. Trying to look around to see who's still pulling something out of a bag and who's got theirs in their hand. I used my holiday bag like it was a sack and pulled it out of there. Whatever you've got will work. All right, it looks like most of us are ready to go. So we are going to take a moment to look around and see who has the power. I will read them off one at a time. And we are going to ask you to wave. So if I call your power, wave, so we can see who's working with which power. We want to know who's doing this with us this year. Whoever has that power will read it together. You're welcome to read it in the silence of your home, and I'll read it from here. And then I am going to let you know what area of the body that is and what color is associated with it. So we'll have a little bit of information and then we'll have a chant. So we've got a process here. So the first power that we are going to focus on tonight is faith. So who drew the power of faith? Wave your hand so we can see who you are. I see Wanda. Anyone else get faith? All right. So if you drew faith, feel free to sort of settle in and imagine. This is in the pineal gland, so this is in the brain. And the color that is associated with the power of faith is blue. So think about that blue, right? Focus your attention on the brain and read this with me. Faith is my ability to say yes to God and good. Faith draws my good from the invisible to the visible. I claim faith. So we're going to have just a little bit of information about faith here. Faith is the power to make the possible real. It helps us to look past appearances of lack, limitation, or difficulty, and to take hold of the divine idea and believe in it, even though we do not see any evidence except in our own mind. We begin with hope, a wistful longing, and we move to blind faith and instinctive trust in the divine, and then on to an understanding faith, which is based on immutable principle. We come to know that as we think, speak, and act with faith, our intentions can manifest.
I know freedom from all limitation. Faith in God sets me free. I know freedom from all limitation. Faith in God, faith in me. I know freedom from all limitation. Faith in God sets me free. I know freedom from all limitation. Faith in God, faith in me.
The next power we are going to focus on tonight is strength. So strength, okay, I see Ophelia has that one. Anyone else? All right, so here we go. Strength is located in the small of the back, so at the very bottom of the back. And the color associated with that one is spring green. So Ophelia and anyone else who drew faith, we are going to read that one together, all right? Ophelia, are you ready? Here we go. Strength is my ability to be still. Strength allows me to stick with divine ideas. Strength is my patience, tolerance, steadfastness, and balance. I claim strength. All right. Our bodies have the capacity for physical strength. Mental strength is our ability for focused discipline. Spiritual strength is our capacity to stand undaunted in the midst of shifting circumstances, to act courageously, and to stay the course. The strength of the peaceful warrior can be our goal, one who has physical, mental, and spiritual strength, but with enough courage to remain inwardly and outwardly peaceful in all circumstances.
Strength is my power to be stable and steady, steady and stable and still. Strength is my power to be stable and steady, steady and stable and still. Strength is my power to be stable and steady, steady and stable and still. Strength is my power to be stable and steady, steady and stable and still.
Next, we have judgment. So did anyone draw judgment? You can wave your hand so we can see who you are. I see Rebecca, I see Karen. Anyone else? All right. So judgment is located in the pit of the stomach, and the color associated with judgment is yellow. So take just a moment and breathe into the pit of your stomach and imagine that color yellow. Judgment does not mean being judgmental, but rather discerning. With this power, we wisely discern the truth. We make judgments or decisions according to the divine guidance received. Questions can percolate within, underneath conscious thinking, until meaning arises naturally through this spiritual power.
I use my power of judgment whenever there's a decision to make. I know divine wisdom will show me the way. I use my power of judgment whenever there's a decision to make. I know divine wisdom will show me the way. I use my power of judgment whenever there's a decision to make. I know divine wisdom will show me the way.
Next on our list is love. So who drew the power of love this time? I see Christine, Kathleen. All right, and Serena sitting next to me. Serena drew that one as well. All right. So love is located at the back of the heart, and the color associated with love, according to Charles Fillmore, was pink. So we are going to take just a moment, focus our attention on the back of the heart. Imagine that color of pink and just breathe some energy into that space in the body. All right. Let's read this one together. Are we ready? Love is my ability to know oneness with all. Love is my ability to desire that only good come to all. Love harmonizes. I claim love. Love is the harmonizing power of the universe. It is gravity, the force that draws us together with the earth and one another. Fillmore said, love is the drawing power of the mind. Understanding this is understanding the law of attraction, which is based upon the principle and power of love. Love is the power of magnetism, harmony, and unity. Colossians 3:14 says, above all, clothe yourself with love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony.
I am living my rhythm and harmony. Love is bringing me my best. Love is bringing me my best. Love is bringing me my best. I am living my rhythm and harmony. Love is bringing me my best.
Off screen, Serena's doing a little dance in the corner here, so I'm trying to stay focused on the screen. So next we have power. So who besides me drew power this year? Anybody? Chris looks a little bit alarmed. Candy and I, all right. Awesome. All right, Candy, are you ready? Power is my, oops, I forgot to read the location. We can't get ahead of ourselves here. Sorry, I'm out of order. All right, so the location in the body for power is the base of the tongue or the voice box. So right here. And the color for power is purple. I got so excited, I wanted to jump right ahead to reading the affirmation. All right, so we are looking at power. We are going to take just a minute and focus our attention on our voice box. We are going to imagine the color purple, and we are going to breathe energy with great intention right here into the base of the tongue, into the voice box. Having activated that center, we are going to read. All right, Candy, now it's time for us to read the power, the affirmation. Here we go. Power is my ability to change and build consciousness. Power is my ability to choose thoughts and feelings. Power is my ability to transform energy from one plane to another. I claim power. Matthew 28:18 says, all authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. God is power, and we are expressions of that power. We have the power to concentrate our focus. We have the power of self-mastery, guiding our thoughts, words, and actions in alignment with the divine. We have the power of spiritual authority, radiating the divine presence. Silently know, I am a tower of power.
I'm a choosing every thought. I'm a choosing every feeling. I use my gift of power to create the life I'm living? Am I choosing every thought?
Choosing every feeling.
Am I using my gift and power to create the life I'm living? Am I choosing every thought?
Next, we have imagination. So who drew the power of imagination this year? Who's got that one? Finn? Anyone else? All right. So imagination, the center for that is right here between the eyes. Some people call this the third eye. And the color associated with imagination is light blue. So take just a minute, bring your attention right here to your third eye and bring to mind the color light blue. All right, Finn, are you ready to read this one with me? Here we go. Imagination is my ability to give shape and form to unformed mental energy. Imagination is vision beyond appearances. I claim imagination. With imagination, we can travel around the world instantly. We can bring peace to the world. We can assert wholeness for a sick person, and we can celebrate success before we have begun. We can accomplish the impossible. With imagination, we can revise our past experience as well as create an ideal future. Imagination is our power of conception, vision, and embodiment. Imagination helps us to realize our purpose and our dreams.
I use my gift of imagination to see the truth in any situation. It's my connection to a conversation with the Christ within me. I use my gift of imagination to finesse any manifestation. I can hear and smell and see and touch and taste them exactly how I want it to be. I use my gift of imagination to see the truth in any situation.
All right, it's my turn now for the next 6. So who has the power of understanding? All right, Eric and Diana. Great. So let's just go ahead and read this together. Understanding is my ability to know that God stands under all things. Understanding is my knowing how to accomplish. Understanding is knowing with my heart. I claim understanding. In the body, understanding is associated with the color gold, and it's located in the front of the brain between the eyes. Now, for a moment, focus on the color gold, everybody, and breathe into the front of the brain between your eyes. And a little more on understanding. It is the power of comprehension, realization, and insight. Through the power of understanding, We comprehend connections between our thoughts and feelings, between our beliefs and truth. Through the power of understanding, we experience greater realization of ourselves, others, and the divine. We gain deeper insights into truth. When we have understanding, we experience deeper compassion for all.
I can believe before I see, 'cause I know God is standing underneath every moment, every moment. I can believe. I can believe before I see, 'cause I know God is standing underneath every moment, every moment. I can believe.
All right, next is the power of will. Who has that power? Anyone? All right, Darlinda and Noel. Am I missing anyone? Darlinda and Noel. All right. Will you help me read this? Will is my ability to be willing toward God. Will is always seeking the good for all. Will is my directive power that determines character formation. I claim will. And in the body, will is associated with the color silver. It is located in the center of the brain. So take a moment and focus on silver, everyone, and the power of will as you breathe into the center of your brain. Will is the executive faculty of the mind. I like to say there is only one will, divine will. And our will is one with that divine will. We can choose not to align with it or express it, thus becoming willful, or we can choose to align and open ourselves and become willing. Willingness is a state of allowing, a cooperation with the divine flow. My will is thy will, and I am willing.
I am willing to use my power. I give my gifts permission and let go. I am willing to use my power to change and grow.
All right. Next is order. Who has the power of order? Nancy? Anyone else? Kathleen? Okay, Nancy and Kathleen Porter. All right. So let's read this together. Order is my ability to develop consciousness in proper sequence, mind, body, and affairs. Order is my adjustment and harmony in health illumination, and prosperity. Order is my ability to keep God first in my continuous development. I claim order. And in the body, order is associated with the color olive green located in the solar plexus. So take a moment and focus on that color olive green and the power of order as we all breathe together into our solar plexus. Because of the great order of which we are a part, we can feel comforted that all is in divine order. This power within us allows to organize our lives and adjust to conditions. It is our evolving progress or growth. It helps us to adjust our mindset or correct a course of action. By the power of order, awaken to an ever-unfolding consciousness, we follow the clear path toward a more enlightened future.
Order is restored to my life when I put God first. Order is restored to my life when I put God first. I can take a course of action to peaceful satisfaction, putting God first. My plan is coming together so nice when I put God first. My plan is coming together so nice when I put God first. I can take a course of action to peaceful satisfaction, putting God first.
Right, the next power is zeal. Does anybody have the power of zeal? No zeal. I guess we'll all have to call for zeal a little more. So I'll just read that for us. Zeal is my ability to move forward through spiritual motivation. Zeal results in my enthusiasm and joy. Zeal is my affirmative impulse of existence. I claim zeal. In the body, zeal is associated with the color orange. It's located in the brain stem at the back of the neck area. So let's all take a moment and just focus on the color orange and the power of zeal as we breathe into the brain stem at the back of the neck. Charles Fillmore said, zeal is intensity, ardor, and enthusiasm, the inward fire of the soul that urges humankind onward, regardless of the intellectual mind of caution and conservatism. Zeal is exuberance and pure joy. It is beyond happiness, rooted in the beating heart of the universe, that which is beneath or behind all energy. Zeal's enthusiasm and optimism and eagerness for life to express fully. The most famous affirmation of Fillmore, written when he was in his 90s, is, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and spring forth with a mighty faith to do the work that ought to be done by me. Right. The next power is renunciation. Did anyone draw that? Okay, another one we'll all have to focus on together. I'll read it. Renunciation is my ability to give a no response to the untrue and undesirable. Renunciation helps me eliminate errors and expand good. Renunciation is to release and forgive as well as to let go of old thoughts. I claim renunciation. And in the body, renunciation is associated with the color russet, located in the lower abdominal region. So take a moment and focus on russet and the power of renunciation as you breathe into your lower abdominal region. We know there must be a release or letting go of old thoughts before the new can find a place in the consciousness. Healing can result from erasing the false and returning to the true, our divine identity. This power helps us to release, cleanse, and let go so life can flow more fully. It includes repentance, which means change of mind or consciousness. We release, we let go, and we let God.
Renunciation is my ability to say no, no, no to negativity. I'm releasing old beliefs that hide the truth about me, and I'm loving myself more and more. Renunciation is my ability to say no, no, no to negativity. I'm releasing old beliefs that hide the truth about me, and I'm loving myself more and more. Renunciation is my ability.
All right, the 12th power is the power of life. Anybody draw life? All right. So let's read this together. Life is my ability to mend, restore, and draw upon the living Christ for all life functions. Life is my progress, attainment, and mastery. I claim life. In the body, life is associated with the color red. It's located in the generative organs. So take a moment and focus on red and the power of life as you breathe into your generative organs. Charles Fillmore said, the first step in the realization of life is always to know that God is life, abundant, omnipresent, eternal. And the second step is to make positive connection with God life by declaring oneness with it. God is abundant, omnipresent life, and I am one with God. The life force is everywhere present, and we are one with it. It expresses through us as vitality, as divine presence, as vibrant energy. Each day, affirm life for all the areas of your life that need more of the life force, whether it's your body, your finances, your relationships, whatever it is, greater life is the answer.
All right, so let's all take a deep breath. We've gone through all 12 powers. Very good. We know what our focus is this year, what we have to look forward to. And having awakened all 12 of our faculties, it is time for us to bless our offering. So with all of our centers awake, take just a moment and think about whatever it is that you have tithed to the church. Think about what it is that you give, the way that you choose to bless others in our community. That might be financial, and that might be a donation of your time or your talents in another way, whatever that might be. Bring that gift to mind. I like to hold my hand over my heart and imagine that that gift has been very deeply blessed. Because having all of your faculties awake means that you have put them to work. Blessing your finances, sending your good out to do beautiful things into the universe, and returning to you multiplied. And isn't that a beautiful thing? Having blessed our offering, I am going to turn things over to Reverend Kathy.
All right. I always think it's great to know the powers are there to call upon when we need them for certain areas of our lives. So we can focus on the one we received as directing our year, but we can also call upon any of them at any time. So before we do our prayer for protection, I want to just say thank you so much to Rhonda. Let's give her a big hand. And thank you to Chris for being here and doing the music for us tonight. All right. And now let's speak our prayer for protection. Let's see if you remember it. We're not putting it up. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now we'll have a closing song, and then feel free to stay around a little bit.
I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. I am powerful. And I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful. I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become.